A Pakistan military-run high school was attacked this week, leaving 130 people dead. Taliban militants slipped past school security and began shooting at random. According to a hospital in the area, victims' ages were from 10 to 20 years old. A Taliban spokesperson, after taking blame for the attack, said the school was targeted due to its government ties. The group also claims multiple shooters were fitted with suicide vests. The militant group is waging war against the government in an attempt to create an Islamic State. After an 8-hour standoff, Pakistani military killed all 9 insurgents. Pakistan's prime minister spoke about the incident, saying, "This is my loss. This is the nation's loss." That 16-hour cafe standoff in Sydney, Australia, has left 2 hostages dead and many more injured. The investigation into the gunman, identified as Manharan Monis, is now underway. Prime Minister Tony Abbott says Moni was well known to Sydney police. He was out on bail after being charged with over 40 accounts of sexual or indecent assault on women, and just last year was indicted as an accessory to his ex-wife's murder. Moni's website was taken down by police after it was shown to promote pro-Islamic extremist violence. Yet he was not on any watch list. Abbott has said that if Moni was monitored, even just for 24 hours, the incident would not have occurred. Government officials are now scrambling to prevent future acts of terror against Australia. Social media gave a new meaning to unity this week after the attack at the Lindt Cafe in Sydney, Australia. After the gunman Manharan Moni was identified as a self-proclaimed Muslim cleric, the Muslim community feared for their safety. The group worried about the backlash that may occur. The campaign in support of the Muslim people sparked over 280,000 tweets saying hashtag I'll ride with you, implicating that Muslims using public transportation should feel safe and not threatened. The campaign pledged support for those wearing religious attire in public. Russian nuclear weapons may soon be increasingly close to Ukraine. A top Russian official this week says that the country has every right to possess nuclear weapons in Crimea. Russia's annexation of Crimea led to the current Ukraine and pro-Russian separatist movement. Russia is part of the New START treaty, which states a country can't move nuclear weapons around unless the U.S. is notified. Yuri Butsov, a Ukrainian political and military expert, says this new announcement is designed for brainwashing the public at home into believing Russia is surrounded by enemies. He says it's a move to cover up Russia's economic downfall. As Russian officials announce possible military tactics, they also deny military flight accusations. Sweden authorities are accusing Russian military planes of being careless. They say a Russian military plane was severely close to colliding with a commercial Scandinavian airliner this week. The incident caused the commercial passenger jet to change its course out of caution. Swedish fighter jets were deployed and identified the planes as Russian military aircraft. Scandinavian Airlines called the reports blown out of proportion and said passengers were never in danger. A Russian representative says that the military aircraft was a safe distance from the passenger airliner. Over 400 times this year alone, NATO has had to intercept Russian aircraft. Since the start of the Ukraine crisis this week brought the first night of peace, according to Ukraine officials. Monday night was the first without shelling since a ceasefire agreement was made with pro-Russian separatists in September. This positive signal from the Ukraine government may not last long after the Russian ruble plunged into a record low this week. The ruble lost more than 1/10 of its value this week. Due to the extreme economic loss, authorities fear an increase in Ukraine and pro-Russian separatist violence. The Ukrainian presidential official says he would like a fresh round of peace talks as soon as possible. A possible date for the talk has yet to be decided on. In other news, India is making an attempt to stop the Islamic State. The country has declared a ban on the Islamic State. Indian officials say that a ban on the group will make prosecution easier. This ruling takes place after Indian authorities found the Twitter of an alleged Indian ISIS recruiter with over 17,000 followers. Over 39 Indian construction workers have been missing since June in Iraq, believed to be ISIS captives. Many critics of the ban fear the future may now be grave for those workers. Concerns for the future this week in Somalia. A Quran teacher has been beheaded by the militant group Al-Shabaab. This is the 5th beheading this week, allegedly done by the group. A town spokesperson says the reason for the teacher's death was due to his refusal to cooperate with Al-Shabaab. The militant group asked residents to leave the towns they have overthrown. Residents who retaliate have been punished severely by Al-Shabaab leaders. The group has been terrorizing Somali citizens, hoping to create a fundamentalist Islamic State.